Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, 4D, and good evening, Viv.
Good evening, 4G. Good evening, Bronze.
It is Thursday, the 18th of June, 2026, Storm in the Teacup, episode 69. And what can we say about 69? I went to do a little search, see if there's anything interesting about the number 69, and of course, all of the search results were what you would expect to come up with the number 69, all sexual references, of course.
The kind of number you search and get arrested for searching for.
Yeah, I mean, and I just thought, what an indictment of today's society.
Yeah.
Just the first 3 pages are full of sexual references to the number 69, nothing else. So I had to dig a bit deep. I came up with a few little things.
That's quite disturbing. Just very quick. That's quite disturbing. The first 3 pages are of sexual nature like that. You're right. It's a sign of the freaking times, man.
Yeah, it may have even been. It may have even been more. I had to refine. I had to refine my search parameters. Instead of just putting in the number 69, I had to actually type in number 69 rather than just 69 to get something relevant to that. So yeah, I know.
Wowzers.
Yeah, but what have we got here? Okay, chemical element. Atomic number 69 in the periodic table is, guess what? It's yet another one we've probably never heard of. It's called thulium. Has the symbol TM.
Is that? I might be wrong. Is that thorium?
No, it's thulium. THU.
Oh, okay. Cheers.
Yeah. It's not thorium. No, I think that one probably would have a lower number. So yeah, that's that. There is an island in Russia, strangely or funnily enough, called Bolshevik Island, and it is the 69th largest island in the world.
Oh,
right.
There is a United Nations Security Council resolution number 69, which was adopted on the 4th of March 1949, which was the admission of Israel to the United Nations. 4D, you'll love this one. 69 is the smallest strobogrammatic number, which is not a palindrome.
Oh my God! Right, say that one again.
Yeah, it is the smallest strobogrammatic number, which is not a palindrome. Now we know what a palindrome is. It's the same if you write it or read it forward or backwards. Like 66, but strobogrammatic, I had to look this one up, I didn't know it, is if you turn it upside down. So if you spin it 180 degrees, it's the same.
Strobogrammatic. Grammatic, of course it would in that case. Right, yeah. Strobogrammatic. I love that word. Nice.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, I thought I can't leave that one alone. So yeah, 69 is the smallest strobogrammatic number, which is not a... Yeah.
Did you know that word, Viv? You're a wordsmith. Did you know that word?
No.
Oh,
no,
nice.
I didn't. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, we've all learned something this evening. That's good. And also, this is quite interesting in a really nerdy sort of way. 69 is the largest number, or it's one of 2 numbers, only one of 2 numbers, where if you write it out in Roman numerals, so 69 in Roman numerals would be LXIX, okay? That is 69 in Roman numerals. Now, if you take those 4 letters and their corresponding number in the alphabet, so L is 12, X is 24, I is 9, and then X is 24 again. If you add those numbers up, they actually equal 69.
Oh, so, I do like that. Oh, nice.
That can't be. That's not right. Is it?
I'm afraid it is.
But X in Roman numerals is 10.
It is, yes. But if you take it in the alphabet, it's the 24th letter of the alphabet.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes.
A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, etc. If you take those numbers, or LXIX, those numbers, you add them up, equals 69.
Right. So, that's very good, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So if we take our modern language of 69, translate it back into old 69, it still equals 69. I love numbers like that. I love that. Yeah.
Oh,
Beautiful.
shock revelation. 69 has always equaled 69. Wow.
Whoa. Okay. Mm.
Yes. Okay, and a few occurrences in the year of 1969. There was an assassination attempt on Leonid Brezhnev, the leader of the Soviet Union, 22nd of January. Never knew that. In January, it was the Beatles' final public performance, which was on the roof of the Apple building in Savile Row in London's Mayfair. I think they did about 5 songs before the police were called for noise complaints. It's kind of a weird one, that one. If you go to that building, number 3 Savile Row, it's right at the end. And if they're up on the roof, if you're underground, you can't see anything on the roof. You have to actually be up on an adjoining roof to be able to see them.
Yeah.
So it really seemed like a bit pointless. It is now a clothes shop called Jeeves and Hawks, or Jeeves and Hawks.
Yeah, I know that shop.
Yeah.
There's a police station on Savile Row as well.
Up the other end, and it has now, guess what? It is now closed.
No.
Yep, it's been closed down. It's like all the police stations, they're getting closed down.
Well, where do the cops hang out? There's a big one on, is it Leeds Street? No, Suffolk Street near Trafalgar Square.
Yeah, that's right. That's Covent Garden one. That one's still open. That's Charing Cross Police Station. That one, I believe, is still open. I'm not sure if it's actually closed down. It's just closed to the public. See, a lot of them have now just closed to the public.
Amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. When you were down here, I pointed out that the Martlesham Police, just outside the town, that is now the police headquarters. Well, what's it doing outside the town?
There's some places now where the police station is running out of a supermarket area. Did you know that? Genuinely. Yeah,
they really are. They really are trying to tell us, we want nothing to do with you. Don't bother us. You are not worthy of our attention anymore. We do not serve you anymore. That is basically what they're saying. And that is the reality of it. They're not serving us anymore.
No,
it's really shocking.
But there we go.
Anyway, so okay. Also, this year there was 4 Apollo missions launched in 1969. Of course, the most famous Apollo 11, when they supposedly, allegedly landed and walked on the moon. But 4, Apollo 9, 10, 11, and 12, all were launched in 1969.
It was quite a big year because of that.
Yeah, in March, Golda Meir becomes the first female Prime Minister of Israel. 1st of April, Hawker Siddeley Harrier jet aircraft enters RAF service. That's the vertical takeoff.
Really?
Yeah, that's served in the Falklands, or the Sea Harrier version did.
Sea Harrier. Yeah.
7th of April, a thing called ARPANET was established, which was the precursor to the modern internet. It was a network that connected 4 universities.
Yes.
And that was in 69 as well.
Yes.
1969, yeah. ARPANET,
Wow.
ARPANET.
That's right. I remember that. Well, I don't remember it. I know about it. It was early internet. One, probably the first.
Yes. On the 9th of April, the first flight of Concorde, Concorde 002, the British prototype, made its first flight from Filton to RAF Fairford in Gloucestershire.
Oh, dear.
So the same year, I did not know that, the same year that the Americans flew to the moon, we launched that iconic plane. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And there's some quite interesting information about why the whole thing was scrapped as well.
Yes,
but that's
go on. Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah, go on, because it's a great conspiracy theorist one. This as well.
Yeah.
It is. Well, I don't actually know the details. I haven't looked into it. I just remember. I was just reminded of reading about it was scrapped for a particular reason, which was not given why it was scrapped, and it is a conspiracy theory. Maybe we can get some information on that and come back to that one at some point.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It's all about. Yeah, it's all basically wrapped up, from what I can remember, with not wanting us to travel, basically, and being able to travel so fast as well. It's like Concorde was a supersonic airliner, so the ease and speed of travel was not something that they wanted the public to have.
Well, they don't want that now either. But that after 69, the package holiday exploded.
Yeah, which coincidentally led to the decline of the British seaside resort, which we witnessed for ourselves last weekend. Everyone, instead of going in this country, instead of going to the seaside here, everyone started going abroad.
Yep.
And interestingly, I know a lady that listens to the show. Her father worked on it, so I can get sort of great information, and me and her have actually spoke about it actually as well before. It's a very interesting, the whole thing, as you say, there's a very interesting storyline behind some of that.
Yeah, maybe we should come back to that. But I did actually, I can't remember which, there is one museum, air museum, I think it's either there's an RAF museum in Hendon in North London, or there's one in Duxford, which is a famous airfield in World War II. And they're both really great museums. One of them has got the prototype Concorde in it, and you can actually go up inside it, and it's just full of all of this computing and stuff. There's no seats or anything. It's just all this analytical gear in it. So it's so there was that Concorde. Okay, 15th of April, British troops deployed in Northern Ireland to try and quell the unrest. That was all the sectarianism that was going on there, and that didn't work out very well at all. 28th of April, Charles de Gaulle resigns as president of France. So he had a good innings. He was there from World War II, wasn't he? He was the leader of the Free French at the end of the World War II.
Yeah, I think it's on and off though. I mean, it was surprising that he lasted that long. To be honest, I mean, it must have. People thought the Algerians war would bring him down, but no, it didn't.
Yeah, like I say, I'm sure he wasn't continuously the president of France, but he was in and out there. 14th of May, Canada legalizes abortion and contraception. 14th of May, 1969.
Wow.
25th of June, Wimbledon, a tennis tournament in London. Longest ever tennis match. June 25th, 1969. Pancho Gonzalez defeated Charles Passerelle in a match lasting 5 hours and 20 minutes, comprising of 112 games. They must have been liquid.
Wow.
Do you know, I've heard of that. I'm not even a sport person, definitely not that particular sport, but even I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that lasted, actually, that's not actually the record anymore. That lasted until it was surpassed in 2010. So there's an even longer match happened in 2010.
Oh, wow. Right.
Yeah. 14th of July, the film Easy Rider was released in New York City. Classic film. This one's another conspiracy. It got a conspiracy thing attached to it. 18th of July, Ted Kennedy, drove his car into a lake. He drove his car off a bridge into a lake, I think, on Chappaquiddick Island, and he had a woman in the passenger seat who drowned. And the whole controversy about it was he didn't report it for over 10 hours, leading to a lot of speculation that there was something a bit funny going on there with this woman.
Oh dear. Yeah. It's very famous, that case. Yeah.
It is, yeah. The lady's name was Mary Jo Kopechny. So yes. 22nd of July, Aretha Franklin was arrested in Detroit for disturbing the peace. Never knew that.
No.
So, 5th of August, the Manson family murders Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
That's very well.
Right.
So, and on the day after that, I think they also murdered some other people. Which, that was that whole
the Tate LaBianca household.
The LaBianca. Yeah.
Tate LaBianca murders. Yeah, LaBianca household. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, 15th of August, the famous Woodstock Music Festival in New York State.
Yeah.
September the 2nd, the first ATM was installed in the United States.
Whoa!
Which was in the Rockville Center, New York. 1969, first ever cash machine.
It's an absolutely amazing year.
Yeah. The 5th of October.
Hang on. Personal gripe of mine is people that say ATM machine. The machine is already in the M. We don't need to say ATM machine. Sorry,
I didn't say ATM. I didn't say ATM machine, did I?
I think you did, but if you didn't, it's just something I've always thought. Oh, why do people say machine?
Well, it's like the MOT. People say MOT test, and it's like the T in MOT stands for test. So MO Ministry of Transport. No, it's Ministry of Transport. Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong in that. Never mind. So here we go. 5th of October. The very first episode of Monty Python's Flying Circus was aired on BBC.
Oh wow!
My goodness!
Right?
Yeah. 'Tis but a scratch.
Tis but a scratch. By the way, sorry to quickly go back. I know about the ATM business. It's called RAS syndrome. Yeah. RAS syndrome. Yeah.
Which is what?
It's loads of words like that. I think. Let me think. PIN number is another one.
Oh yes. Personal identification number.
Yeah.
Do you know what? There's lots of things I love about you, but I love that you teach me words that I didn't even know existed in the universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it RAS syndrome?
Let me look this up. Yeah.
Just make sure that the S in RAS doesn't stand for syndrome, because you'll be guilty of.
I've looked it up. Yes, it does. Redundant acronym syndrome, making the phrase RAS syndrome autological as well.
Oh, right. It's self-explanatory.
Oh, how brilliant. Yeah. I never knew that. So redundant acronym syndrome, RAS syndrome. No. It's brilliant.
So it's not redundant acronym syndrome then, just to be clear. So it's not RAS syndrome, it's just RAS.
No, it's RAS. It's RAS syndrome.
No, but the S in RAS stands for syndrome, doesn't it? So you can't put syndrome after.
No, you can't.
Hence it's explaining its actual
meaning. Yeah,
meaning,
its purpose. Its purpose.
There you go. Something else we've learned tonight already.
Yeah, love that one.
It can only be downhill from here on. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Okay, just a couple more. 10th is that 10th of November, 1969. Sesame Street. It debuts on PBS. The world famous Sesame Street.
Oh wow! 69 was a great year.
Yes, it was amazing. Absolutely
14th of November in the UK. 14th of November is the first ever broadcast of colour television in the UK.
Whoa!
My word! Yeah. They're flying to the moon, and we're getting colour TV.
Oh.
Yeah. And last but by no means least, 16th of December, the UK Parliament votes to abolish hanging. So
wow, that late.
Yeah, I didn't realise.
So there you go, 1969.
Amazing.
Some highs and some lows. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. Some good ones for this day in history. There always is, but This one starts going back to this day in history in 1542, the Crown of Ireland Act. Crown of Ireland Act 1542, passed by Parliament of Ireland, gives English King Henry VIII the title King of Ireland.
Ah,
so that was
King Henry VIII. Really? Wow.
Yeah, So that's
Sure.
Okay.
Go on. Sorry.
Obviously, King Henry VIII. He's the one who came before Henry VII. Is that right, or was he after Henry IX?
Excellent.
I can't remember.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Ask David Lammy. He knows.
Yes, he knows. After that, 1542, then we go to 1682. English Quaker William Penn founds Philadelphia in the Philadelphia colony.
Yep.
And I mentioned that, so that was 1682, but very interesting.
1682, yeah.
And very interestingly, this day in history in 1778, British redcoats evacuate Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and head to New York. So I thought that was quite ironic that those two incidents happened on the same day in history, of 94 years apart. Yeah. But so, someone walked in there, founded the place, and in 96 years, they're heading out to New York.
One question I've always wanted answered is, why did they name a city after a cheese?
Oh, that was a joke. Very good. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Philadelphia, that is quite an unusual word, isn't it? Philadelphia.
It's Greek. It's Greek.
Greek, right? Okay.
If I'm not very much mistaken, it's
probably. Well, the Delphi part of it does sound very Greek, doesn't it?
Yeah, and philo or phila means of love of.
Ah.
But I don't know in this context whether it means it's like various files. PHILES files.
Yes. Oh, yes. Of course.
Also, Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. Another interesting word, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
It's named after William Penn.
Oh, really?
Oh, the guy who. Oh, of course. Okay, the guy who Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
It always makes me think of Transylvania, though. The Sylvania connection.
If somebody's described as sylvan, I believe it means wood-like, like a woody glade or something like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. It will be.
Moving forward to this day in history. I've looked this up, but I can't work out which year it was. But it's the 1812 war begins when the US declares war against Britain. Obviously, I'm joking. That's the year 1812, and it was called the 1812 war. They weren't very good with naming wars back then.
No.
Well, that not to be confused with the 1812 Napoleonic War.
Well, I was going to go on to say, ironically, again, this day in history, but 3 years later, is the Battle of Waterloo. So 1815 Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon Bonaparte and France are defeated by British forces under Duke of Wellington and Persian troops under Field Marshal von Blücher. Is that right?
Yeah, he was the head of the Austrians, I think, who were allied with the French, I believe.
Yeah.
Who arrived late.
1812, the war with America, and then 3 years later, we're doing it with France.
Yes. And there's the 1812 overture, of course, which was for the Napoleonic 1812 war, and not the American one, I believe.
Yeah. Well, Napoleon had been exiled, and he came back, and that led to the rout at Waterloo.
Yes, at Waterloo, Napoleon did surrender, as the song goes.
Yes.
And I mean, I only learnt this through the Q thing, but a lot of people say that was this sort of first emergence of the Rothschild family, where they did some dodgy betting on who was going to win that war, and it was just that they had the fastest means of passing messages across, that they kind of conned the world and made a lot of money. Again, another very great deep dive to go down.
Yeah, they got to the stock exchange first, the London Stock Exchange, I believe. They got there first.
Yes,
yeah. They shorted it and fooled everybody into believing it was that one side was losing when it was actually the other way round. They made a lot of money. But there was I can't remember who it was. Someone was talking about that. I think in the Bank of England it might have been, or one of these big financial institutions here in London. He was being shown around, and they showed him a copy or an actual framed receipt of. Oh no, I can't. What are the details now? I'm probably going to screw this up. It was something to do with the. Oh yes, it was the money lent to the Wellington's army. For the war. It was the money. It was the receipts for it was the bill for the money lent to the British Army for the Battle of Waterloo, and the guy said, "Oh yeah, and in France." We also have, and here's one that we've got for the money we lent to Napoleon. So they basically financed both sides of the war.
Yeah, right.
Or something. It was something like that. It was very much boiled down to a single financial institution gave money to both sides.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
What a surprise. Yeah. So where were we? That was 1815. Then we're zooming all the way to 1928. This lady came up a couple of weeks ago. Amelia Earhart becomes the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean, this time as a passenger, landing at Berryport, Wales. I think the one a couple of weeks ago was one that she'd landed in. Was it Ireland? I think it was, wasn't it? So yeah, there you go. That one was also
okay.
Yep.
This day in 1940. Again, a couple of weeks ago, we had a speech from Winston Churchill. Well, this day in history in 1940 this was their finest hour speech to the House of Commons, urging Dunkirk evacuation, fall of France. Oh, yeah. So, because that was the third in. This is their finest hour, was a speech delivered to Winston Churchill to the House of Commons on the United Kingdom at 18th June 1940. Just over a month after he took over as Prime Minister, head of all blah, 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 blah. It was the third of three speeches which he gave during the period of the Battle of France, after the blood, toil, tears and sweat speech of the 13th of May and the We Shall Fight Them on the Beaches speech of 4th of June. So, yeah, two of those speeches we've had in the day in history.
Yeah, I always I didn't realise there were three separate speeches. I always thought the Fight Them on the Beaches was the same speech as the Finest Hour. I thought that was the Finest Hour speech, but obviously not. There were two separate speeches.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very good. Couple of noteworthy obituaries as well. Lord Hattersley, Roy Hattersley, a Labour politician, ex shadow deputy prime minister to Neil Kinnock. He died.
Okay.
Famously lampooned on Spitting Image, the puppet show, as being he couldn't stop spitting when he speaks.
That's right.
That was I'm sure he didn't appreciate that legacy, but yeah, he's passed away. Old school Labour politician, and also I'm sure you'll remember, Viv, and you might remember as well, 4D. A program called The Cook Report used to be on ITV.
Oh yeah. Roger
Cook. the foot in door, what they called foot in door investigative journalism. He's passed away. And as we all remember, he used to go with a TV crew, and he used to go around and he used to doorstop people, and these crooks, people who were up to no good, criminal activity, what have you, and he used to go up to them and stop them in the street or knock on their door, film them, and ask them awkward questions, and he's actually quite effective. He got a lot of people put in jail. He got a lot of innocent people freed. And it was kind of ahead of his time, really, that sort of TV show that time. And he previously worked for the BBC, and it got to the point because he used to get beaten up so many times and attacked and threatened, and he was kind of fearless like that. The BBC refused to insure him because it was too much of a risk.
Right. Yeah. I always, when I first started seeing James O'Brien, I used to say that I thought he was the first one to come out that was as good as your Cook report. James O'Brien, James O'Keefe. I was going to say James O'Brien. What are you talking about?
James O'Brien. I was thinking, what?
Yeah, who is that?
Yeah. James O'Brien is the LBC, that real communist LBC presenter.
Oh, of course he is. Oh, why have I got him on my brain? Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
I know, he's awful. But yeah, he was, like I said, James, he kind of does what James O'Keefe does now. James O'Keefe does a much more modern version of it because he goes undercover. Whereas Roger Cook, you just go up to them and put a camera in their face. And kind of pretty much what a lot of citizen journalists do now, just accosting people in the streets with their phones and asking them awkward questions, absolutely, ahead of his time, and rest in peace. Rest in peace, Roger Cook.
Indeed. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, there we are.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe sometime in the future, someone will be sitting there going, well, this day in history was when there was a pivotal by-election in the UK. Who knows? But as we sit here at the moment, the odds on who's going to take the by-election in Makerfield. Sorry, I always put an S in there. Makerfield. Cheers.
I know, I do as well, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Anyway, Andy Burnham is favourites on 1 to 4 odds. Robert Kenyon from Reform UK is 3 to 1, and Rebecca Shepherd from Restore Britain is 20 to 1. That's the betting. I think they're better than the polls, but so that's where it stands at the moment. Anyway.
I searched earlier for exit polls. There haven't been any yet. Not that I could find, anyway.
No, I couldn't, if I'm honest. Yes.
Yeah, it's probably there's been an awful kind of lack of voting intention. There have been 1 or 2 polls, but not the amount that you would have thought for something which has got this much attention. And really a lot of confusing information coming out. Information.
Lots.
Everyone's kind of really just being very cagey about this one. Yep. Nobody's sort of. They've all done their own internal polls because they obviously don't trust. The only reason they do their internal polls is because they don't trust the official polls.
Yeah.
And the only ones who have released their polls have been Restore Britain. The rest have not released their internal polls.
Okay.
I think Restore Britain will do well. They won't win, I don't think. My personal opinion. I think Burnham will win. But Restore Britain may well beat Reform, which will be seismic.
Yeah.
Even that would be seismic, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, and Farage, in a couple of interviews recently, has really seemed to be losing his... he's been showing real physical signs of feeling the pressure and, putting his head in his hands and actual kind of interviews in the middle of an interview or a press conference. Yeah. It's really bizarre. His body language is really kind of strange. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, for sure.
Did you see the amount of people that turned up for Rupert Lowe in Makerfield? It was,
if
you just go by that picture, you'd say, my goodness, he must have had 30% of the bloody local area out,
Yeah, it was a really really big showing. People coming from all over the country to turn up there to canvass for Restore Britain.
Yeah,
It's incredible. It really is incredible. It's shocking. I think this is what they're really worried about. And everybody is talking about. They don't want to. They don't want to talk about Restore, but they're being forced to. Um, I mean, there was one clip of even like that. Oh, I can't stand him, Owen Jones. Right, they're really little, squeaky, geeky, left wing, woke idiot who's who loves the Guardian, thinks he's something special, but he's not. Even he went up there, and there's a clip of him going up to this woman saying, "But millions and millions of people are going to be deported." And this woman just looked at him and went, "Well, yeah." It's like, well, yeah, good. That's what we want.
That's it. That's right. Yeah, they haven't realised what's going on. Most of them.
They are realising, and that's why they're all freaking out. The Daily Mail has just gone full on anti-Restore over the last week. Really, they're all just it's a new home for the neo-Nazis now. This is their line of attack. Restore Britain, the new home of the white nationalist neo-Nazis. This is it's amazing.
Those insults are okay. Those insults are a bit thin now, aren't they? Really
thin. Yeah. They've lost their power. They've been so overused. They're worn out because they never had any truth to them in the first place. That's why.
No, I know, but it's all dog whistle stuff, and
yeah,
I always say to people, if you're calling the various parties, various people far right, what are you going to call the National Socialist Party of Germany from the 1930s? What are they? Far right?
Well, no, that's what they're trying to do. They're still that to them that is the far right, and they're just trying to equate people to that. So that is far right. So when they call you far right, they are calling you the National Socialists of the Nazi Party of 1930s Germany. That's the whole point, isn't it? It's not like you're different.
Yeah, sure. I'd just like a little bit more linguistic precision. If we are going to use descriptive terms, let's use them properly, people?
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about being truthful and being accurate, Viv, and that's just not.
Oh yeah, got me there.
And that doesn't work for them. That's not their
modus operandi.
Yeah, they can't be having that.
They can't be having that. Okay. Well, we shall see. We shall see by this time tomorrow, or even earlier. We'll know. I do rather think that Burnham will get in. It's not justifiable, and it's very unfortunate. But I believe he will get in, and as I keep on saying, and he will launch a leadership attack on Herr Starmer, the Starmerführer.
Well, that is the only reason why he's running in this by-election.
That's right.
So he can launch a leadership attack. That is purely it. There's no other reason. He was the mayor of Manchester. He needed to be an MP to be able to take over the Labour Party. Because he wasn't an MP, he needed someone in his constituent to step down so he could run there to be voted in as an MP. And that's exactly what's happening here.
Yep, it is.
No Stern and Burnham.
Well, I'm quite interested. I mean, like I said, I think we all kind of think he's going to win, and he will.
I've been sat here quietly. I genuinely don't think he is. I genuinely am more. I know how crazy it sounds, but I think there's going to be a major wake up for us all. Maybe we're all going to be stunned by it, but I think I'm going behind Rupert Lowe.
Well, the thing which kind of cements it in my mind is what you've already mentioned, 4D, is like the odds, the betting odds.
I know.
We know polls. Yeah. We know polls are bullshit, but the betting odds, they are rarely wrong. That they kind of they put their money where their mouth is. And if the odds are for Burnham, it's almost certainly that he's the front runner.
What? Yeah. Do you know what? How I validated that in my head is I was thinking, the point of this one to me is that he's going to wake up people that have never voted before. Well, the kind of people that doesn't vote before don't bet either. So I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm still going to ignore this because it's kind of like if he does win, it has to be that he wakes up people that, this other group, this silent group that don't normally get involved here. I think that's what I or anyone that wants him to win or thinks that he can win is hoping for. So, therefore I just sort of, yeah.
Well, there is that. Yeah, there is that, of course.
But you are right. 20 to 1 compared to 3 to 4. Did I say it was? Yeah, it's
1 to 4. You said Burnham. What 1 to 4 odds? I mean, so that is very. Yeah, that is really hardly worth betting on.
Yes,
but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like as we said before, all it will effectively mean. I mean, if Burnham doesn't win, then Starmer remains Prime Minister. If he does win, then he will challenge Starmer, and quite possibly Burnham will become the Prime Minister. And it's just not really going to make that much difference at the end of the day. We can only hope that if Burnham does oust Starmer, he will call a general election, and then it's game on.
He will. He will.
Oh, will he? I don't know. I'm not sure.
He has to.
Does he have to?
Well, in order to secure legitimacy.
Yeah, but they're not interested in legitimacy, Viv.
No, they aren't. They aren't. But they're interested. I know, but they're interested in votes. It's all a game, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
So if they can get another 2 more years, then bingo.
Well, yeah, but they've already got till 2029, so they've already got that. They don't have to call an election now. They can just say, well, we've got until 29 before we have to call an election, so we can just use that now to try and turn things around, which they won't, because Burnham is there's nothing special about this guy. This guy is just going to become as derided as Starmer is because he's useless. Yeah. All this hype about him being this new hope. He's not that at all. He's nothing special. He's just going to be more of the same. He's just going to be as bad.
He's a bit of a special paedophile protector, though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, Starmer is as well. All of them are to a certain extent, I would say.
Yeah.
Well, most of them, for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'll be interested because you know what's going to happen. If Burnham does challenge and get in to be the new Prime Minister, we're going to go from Keir Starmer's a wanker and it's going to turn into Andy. There's going to be a new one for Andy Burnham. Now, I'll be quite interested to see what that one will be.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah.
Andy Burnham is put your pejorative of choice in here.
I like all the names that the Lotus Eaters have given him. It's No Sternum Burnham, Andy Bumham. There was another couple. I like all of the ones they've come up with. Big up to Barrow.
Yeah. So I don't see the point. Unless he's forced into it for some reason for calling it an early election by his backbenchers or other members of his party, which seems to me like that they'll be shooting themselves in the foot if he does that. I don't see how they think they can gain from that.
In 6 weeks, you've got 6 weeks before he shows his true colours, and it will be that the gamble will be that he's riding on a wave of renewal of renewed popularity for the Labour Party with a new leader. We'll see it. The honeymoon period. I mean, that's what I'd do if I was a strategist in a political party, because you can consolidate. You both consolidate power, and you give yourself an extra 2 years.
Well, do you know what? I think I might strategize to just hang in there till 2029 and hope that you build up enough of what you've just said for the 2029. I think it would be really, really risky to throw it.
Yeah,
it's even riskier for them to allow the key date of 2030, which is as we all know, UN Agenda 2030 posits that all these the various things will be in place by then. So if reform gain power in 2029, then the globalist project may be in trouble. Although that's considering that the possibility that that reform are a Trojan horse for globalists.
Did you hear what? Did you hear what happened in the EU Parliament today?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just on us anymore, mate. I know I'm bringing up this Q thing, but I think it's already dead. It's already dead. We're just waiting for the obvious signs to emerge. But for anyone that didn't know, like, everyone stood up in the EU Parliament and just started chanting, send them home, which is pretty much what you find the far right Nazi scumbags, as we're called, some of the chants that they say on the streets over here. So it was very very interesting.
That was directly because of new regulations that have been passed, which make it easier to deport migrants and clamp down on accepting migrants. So they are kind of clamping down on the whole migration thing. That was what that was about, which for the EU is astonishing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm pointing that out, because that's kind of the main or a big issue. A big part of the deep state's agenda. They want this multicultural love fest. But if you can hear them saying that in EU Parliament, you can already tell it's not going to work, or it's not working. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair point from Viv, though. I mean, the broader picture of the Agenda 2030 could be scuppered if they don't. But that does kind of, like you said, there is doubt there about reform as well. If reform do get in, if they do wait till 2029, reform do get in, just how compromised are reform? And there are question marks about that. But at the same time, I think calling an early election, I just think that the Labour Party is so damaged now in the eyes of the public. They're so damaged. Even bringing in a new guy with a so-called honeymoon period won't be enough because there won't be any evidence. It'll just all be like, this guy's going to fix everything. It's not like, look at what he's done, because there's nothing he has done. He hasn't done anything yet. So there's not going to be a body of evidence that people can kind of go, okay, yeah, I trust this guy. So they are in a rock and a hard place. They've either got to piss or get off the pot, and either one is not a good option for them.
No evidence is ever needed. No evidence is ever needed.
It is. It helps if you've got a politician with a good track record of doing stuff. Then sure, that makes a difference, I would say.
Yeah, that's true. But the evidence in the sense that that most people voting, they won't necessarily be energized and exercised by one party or the other. They'll just want change. They'll think, oh, that's gonna do it. I'm going to vote for the new person. The new party, a different.
But the even bigger change, if people want change, they're going to go to reform. They're not going to vote for Labour again, even though they've got a new guy in there. It's not enough of a change, is it? I'd say
no.
If it's change that people want, they're going to go to reform, or even restore. So,
but when you consider that politics is entertainment for ugly people, then most people aren't really, that involved in politics. They expect politicians to be competent to improve their lives, etc. But really, a lot of it's entertainment, and it's presented as such on the mainstream media channels.
Yeah, I think people are wising up. I think people are wising up to that now because, I mean, in the old days, people expected politicians to do this and to do that, but it's becoming increasingly obvious, really obvious, that they're not doing that at all. So I do think a lot more people are now starting to go, hold on a minute, what am I voting for here? Why am I voting for you? What are you doing? So and they are looking for different options. So
I mean, there's that as well. Yeah,
I don't think he'll call, if he gets in, I don't think he'll call an early election. I could be wrong. I have been before.
Also, when you're talking about Labour strategists, don't forget you're talking about people like David Lammy and Redhead Girl. You know, like I don't think their strategists are going to be that clever at knowing.
They're not strategists. They're front people. They're puppets.
True.
I mean, we're talking about the blob, and within the blob, there are the blob are the group that run things.
Yeah, they are probably mostly the same people who are behind the whole Blair thing as well. These people have been in the game a long time, and they've never gone away. They've always been there.
Yeah,
and they're people we've never heard of. They're not household names like Xavier. They're not the Starmers, the Lammies, the whoever. What's that girl's name? Raina. They're not these people that we hear about every day. They're people in the civil. They're civil serpents who are just working behind the scenes.
They're civil serpents, but not only the blob comprises NGOs, it comprises charities, it comprises advisors who are not necessarily civil servants either. The charity sector is hugely represented in the blob, and so and they have their own agenda, of course. So there's a lot at stake, an awful lot at stake there. I mean, they've got very comfortable livings. My goodness, on the taxpayer's dollar, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is why they are so scared of Restore, because they're the only party who are actually not controlled by them, who genuinely is a genuine threat to them, because they will do away.
Yeah, I mean. That's why they're going to pull out all the stops, I suppose.
Yeah,
and you know, some of the biggest YouTubers and Rumble people are covering. Americans are covering Rupert Lowe. I passed something on about Asmongold again. Whether you're into him or not, it's irrelevant. He's a massive person, and the youngsters like listening to him. I find it very interesting that there's this almost obvious connection between America, your tech companies, and Rupert Lowe. I personally see that as a positive thing, because I personally believe that there's a bigger game getting played. But yeah, very interesting that he's getting covered by people like Asmongold.
I mean, I think it's quite obvious that people like Elon Musk and the administration, the US administration, are keeping an eye on what's going on here. There's no doubt about that. You quite often have. I mean, Musk amplifies a lot of stuff which is going on over here. The whole Henry Novak thing, and or the anti-white racism, and the all the other stuff. The groom. I mean, we've just had Rupert Lowe's rape gang inquiry released, and boy, that is heavy shit.
That was the next subject I wanted to move on to. Yeah, like you say, that's a massive.
So you know, JD Vance comments. You know, comments fairly often on UK events, and you can be sure that Trump is also clued in as well, because you know he's certainly in on the loop. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and do you know what I found really interesting, guys, was that there's chatter on the social networks and stuff of how this is worse than Epstein. And the reason I point that out, because that whole Q thing and the whole about getting people ready for bigger stories and things that are going to happen and this, that, and the other. And I was kind of knocked for six. I sat back and remember what I thought about the whole Epstein thing when I found out about that through the Q files. And then suddenly dawning on me that, you know, shit, they introduced us to this island that this man owned. And now we've got this freaking island that I live on that some Americans are saying, oh my God, this is worse than Epstein. And it probably is, actually.
Well, have we had the full details on Epstein? I don't think we have. But the details of this, the rape gangs in the UK, are now being released, and they are horrific. They are absolute. Some of the details in there are just sickening, really sickening.
There's no way I'll be able to read. There is no way on God's earth that
I wouldn't be. Nor would I. I mean, there may well have been the same types of things that went on in the whole Epstein thing, but we don't know because we haven't had any of those kind of details released.
I thought, so I'm going to pause there because I thought that's the point, that the stuff that went on the island, sure, not the absolute bad stuff that we got told about through the Q files, but I thought a lot of it has come out. Am I wrong then?
Well, I don't know. Well, what has come out? The
dungeons, the murders. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth, but I thought
I don't think it has. I don't think it has. I mean,
I'll have to check
it may have been released, but it's certainly not really kind of got too much attention. I'm not really aware of any details I've heard bits and pieces about it, but I mean, and also Rupert Lowe is now is threatening to use his parliamentary privilege to actually name names, which is really what we want. We really want that.
Yeah, and these people, there's someone that's actually going to do it. Sorry, go on. Yeah,
and these people absolutely need to be named and prosecuted for what they've done. And these are not just people in normal life. These are not just Pakistani Muslims. These are people in the police force, in the social services, in government, in the NHS. These are people in institutions and positions of trust. You would have thought, who are all implicated in this, all need to be brought to justice. They all need to do that.
This is I agreed with Asmongold. He said like the retribution for this has to be so harsh, and everyone involved has to suffer. He said, because if you don't do that, obviously you don't stop this. And he was saying the way Rupert Lowe's dealing with this, he's already saying this is going all the way. He's already said, for instance, he wants to bring back the death sentence. So, there's already little seeds being sown that this could be the whole Nuremberg 2.0 that Q spoke about.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to say I've only got 2 words to say to that, and that's death penalty.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, it's the only thing which will satisfy, I think, in a case like this. Once enough people become aware of just how horrific and widespread this is, and how long it's been going on, and how these girls and in some cases boys suffered. Unbelievable. I mean, we're not just talking about sexual abuse, we're talking about torture, talking about slavery, and deaths, murders in a few cases as well. It absolutely has to be completely sorted out, got to the bottom of. And
and I went off piste. When I was saying like I don't want to read any of that because it's too painful for me, but I was going to go on to say, but I'm forcing people to go through the kinds of thing I went through when I found out about this stuff, that because you won't react until you understand. We're as Bronze has just said, and we're talking about animals being used. We're talking about degradation beyond most people's understanding. We're talking, again, I don't want to go into it, but people having their hands nailed to the floor while stuff is bit, and it's until everyone has the kinds of shivers I had, and I'm sure you guys have had, it's nothing. It won't get to the death sentence, and I totally agree with you with that.
Well, when did the report come out, by the way?
Just a couple of days ago.
Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday.
How interesting. How interesting.
Yeah. And it does kind of tackle as well.
Oh, dear.
In what way is that interesting, Viv?
Because the news has been dominated by a really horrible case of a teacher who murdered a baby.
Oh, is this a gay couple?
Yeah, not only murdered the baby, but did unspeakable things.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to bring that up as well. Yeah, this gay couple who adopted this young baby, and just that poor little kid. And they ended up, I mean, they abused it sexually, physically, and ended up murdering it. And they have been convicted.
But why now? Why did they? Is this been signalled? Has the Rupert Lowe report been signalled in advance?
I don't know. I mean, but did
they time the court case to coincide with this? So it takes the heat off. It puts the heat onto white people. White people are abusers too.
No, because
they were gay. So.
Not only that. The report has one of the most stunning things that's come out from the report is that it says 85 to 89% of the specific things that we're talking about here is done by specifically Pakistani Muslims.
Where's the news on that then?
If you just
the point I'm making is this story has flooded the news and it's pushed off anything else off the news of something slightly similar, I suppose. Has it been used to to
bury other stuff?
To bury other stuff.
I think it's the opposite. Sorry, go on.
Well, why isn't it leading the BBC and all the other major mainstream?
Yeah, because they're not news. They're not news.
It implicates them.
Well, look. I mean, when was this? When was this? When did this happen with this baby? I mean, when were they? Were they just convicted just recently? I think they were because the news
was possibly the same day. Possibly.
Right. So it is news. It's happening now. It's not like they've had it on ice. They're reporting it as it happened. I believe that Rupert Lowe released the rape gang inquiry. That was very calculated because that was 2 days before the by-election in Makerfield. Andy Burnham. And Andy Burnham was implicated in that. He's named him in it, along with a few other Labour MPs. I think this baby thing is probably just something which is I don't know. It may be connected, but I don't.
Coincidence.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, but do you know what? For some reason, I think it's the opposite to what you're saying. I think these things are being timed, not. And again, for anyone listening, we're not trying to say that these things are just made up and done. It's just that these things happen every day, but they specifically let us know about specific things, perhaps. But I think it's the opposite. I think they're slowly waking up the public because you've had beheadings, you've had stabbings, you've had throat attacks. It seems like 3 a week. Things are rowling the public up. And then you've got this by-election, and 2 days before the by-election, Rupert Lowe, who's running for that place, is suddenly saying to the world, "Look, I'm the one that's going to save your daughters." That's a massive.
I tend to agree with you, 4D, because this is two gay guys who adopted a baby and ended up murdering him. I mean, this is like putting gay men in the spotlight, and these are one of their kind of sacred cows. You know, these are one of their protected species, right? In Pride Month as well. It's like the optics of that. It's like they wouldn't have done that. Surely they would not have done that. On purpose. So I kind of think that it wasn't done to deflect from anything else bad going on. It's more of a wake up, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
I do.
Either way, we all see that there's a programming going on in the background. Yeah. Fair enough.
In one of them, funnily enough, the main guy who's convicted, he got convicted of life imprisonment, right? But they say life, right? They convict people for life, but it never really means life. It means life, and they get out in whatever 20 years, 30 years on parole. But this one was actually it was very specific. They said you're going to die in prison. You will not get parole. There was no kind of ifs or buts about it.
Yeah, because I believe in this country, life means 25 years. Am I right?
Yeah, but they called it something else. It wasn't just he's going to prison for life. They used a different term to separate it from that, which actually means life. which means he's going to die in prison. And he probably will die in prison because I believe he probably will be got at by people inside for what he's done.
Who's that? The baby torturer.
Baby killer, yeah. And his partner's got 20.
Apparently, there's already hit jobs being called out on it.
He's going to die in prison, but not from old age. That's no doubt.
No. I mean, this also does raise a question, which I've kind of had a doubt about for quite a long time. Should gay couples be allowed to adopt children?
No.
That's always kind of sat very uneasily with me, that one. It's like, I don't really agree with that, to be honest with you. I'm not comfortable with that. This is
one that I get on my high horse about, because I think people miss the point of that as a statement. It's the most selfish thing I can think of, because you cannot have a child if you are two men or if you are two women. The selfishness of not thinking what that will do to a child that didn't ask to be grown up in a gay relationship. And again, I've got nothing. I've got gay friends. I've got lesbian friends. I've got all sorts of friends. I'm not anything about the couple in themselves, or that they're good, bad, or indifferent. I don't think it's right from the child's point of view. If you're a loving couple in a married relationship and you can't have children, I think there's absolutely every reason why we should allow you to adopt a child, because in the in nature, it's just unfortunate you can't have a child. But I'm sorry, especially with this story now, I draw a hard line on no.
It's a nuclear family. We have enough problems with youths being raised in broken and unstable families. We need stable nuclear families to raise stable kids. And I don't believe same-sex couples should be allowed to do that. I mean, if you're gay, then that is, you may not have a choice in that, but you just have to accept the fact that you can't have children. Just as if if you're born a man, you have to accept the fact that you can't give birth to children. It's just the way it is, you know. So, you know.
Well, I think there are nuances around this. I think there are certain nuances. I wouldn't want to say that it shouldn't be allowed. Do you think that a lesbian couple who are together and one of them was in a heterosexual relationship and had children, do you think they should not be allowed to both look after the children of that?
No, they can look after the children, but they should be raised by the father and the mother. I mean, once again, you're talking about a broken relationship, which is not the solution.
No, but if the father's walked away from the family and the mother is taken up with another woman, what do you do?
But that's different.
Put them into care, or what do you do?
No, that's different. You don't take it away from one of the parents. We're talking about two people that adopt a child. In that scenario, you've got one person that's split from another. Well, in every heterosexual relationship, you're going to get that issue as well. So it's not not a problem.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. Agree with that.
Okay. But
we all have different ideas, and that's the point.
Of course. I've just looked through them on page. Admittedly, it's Google, so Google is completely mainstream. There's nothing at all about the inquiry report here. Nothing.
You have to go to social media, because they're not touching it with a barge pole, Viv, for all the reasons that you would think.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's how you know it's not a deep state operative, because otherwise it'd be all over the papers to let us get into it. It's not out there.
But it is out there, and it's going to seep through. I think there's no fixing the hole in the dike, to coin a phrase. It's only going to get bigger.
And the youngsters are into their maybe this is why Starmer wants to ban youngsters from the internet, because the internet is ruled by the youngsters. They're the ones, they're getting their news from the internet. And as we've been told by everyone, Rupert Lowe's main voice is heard on the internet, not on the TV.
Okay, that's one aspect of it, but we know it's not about banning kids, it's about controlling everybody. This is digital ID. This is not about banning kids. They don't care about kids, but they do care about information getting out that they're not in control of. and that's exactly what they stop.
But I would go further. I believe that the ban on social media for the under 16s will naturally become essentially everyone will have to provide their identity. Everyone will have to provide facial recognition and address and name, etc. Age.
Yeah, how else will they know How else will they know what if you're underage or not?
Exactly.
Unless they get everybody's identity. Yeah, of course.
That's what they need. That's what they need to do. So it's another Trojan horse. We know that they don't care about children because they've just, this is linked. We know they don't. Yeah, because they don't give a damn about children. They don't care.
Well, if they really cared about children, they'd stop all of these rapey migrants coming in.
That's my point.
Mind you, I've got to say that the banning of children from the internet, I hope it at least opens up a conversation, because I do think parents should be strictly taking their children off of the internet. Like, I don't believe the government have the right to do it, but I think we as people should be talking to each other as grown-ups and saying, like, do we really want our kids on the internet?
It's not going to happen.
I know.
It is the parents' responsibility. That's where it should start and end.
Absolutely. They're not going to do that. Some parents
It should be the parents who are held accountable.
It should, but it's not going to happen. I mean, today,
in my day, it's the equivalent of the top shelf porn magazine. Yeah, you will still have kids that will get it, but it has to be sort of openly known that it's not right for children. Whether some of the parents let their children do it or not is irrelevant. I think we should be having these open conversations that we're really sort of opening our kids' minds to things they shouldn't be open to.
Yeah, it should be socially unacceptable, widespread, socially unacceptable, and a kind of a social taboo.
What are you going to do about that then? Good luck with that, because
there's a will, there's a way, Viv. We have people in power who do not have the will. If someone has the will, it can be done. But the ones in power do not have the will, and they're using false arguments to try and get it through. They're gaslighting us. They're lying to us and saying, well, this is why we want to do it, whereas that's not the real reason why they want to do it. So they're not going to follow that up with any meaningful action, because that's not what they mean.
Have you looked around in the street? You must have done, because you walk around and etc. There's whole families, and they've got phones in their hands. Look at people in restaurants; they've all got phones and iPads. I see only this week I've noticed this, because on Monday I got a call from someone, and they'd lost their daughter had lost the iPhone, and the mother was saying, please look, can you sort this out? Can you do this quickly and recompense me for the iPhone loss, because my daughter is getting at me every day and it's intolerable. She's off social media and blah 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 blah. And that's just one example. It's anecdotal.
But that's totally on the parent. That's her fault. Her attitude is completely wrong towards that.
Yes, that's what I thought. And how are you going to stop that?
Well, no, you don't. That's the thing. You never stop it, do you? Like, you'll always get kids that their parents let them do drugs. You'll always get kids that parents let them get a tattoo. You'll always get parents that let their kids go on the internet. But I think it's just that we should have a grown-up conversation, that the grown-up adult parents will say, yeah, maybe we should start, limiting our kids. And do you know what I mean?
Well, I just think that society is not been this is like what do you call it, a dumbing down of society. Parents are not like a lot of people in society. They are just not of the caliber that they used to be, in terms of doing things, doing life things, like being a parent. Quite often, parents now just want something just to shut their kids up. Don't bother me. As long as their kids are kind of, involved in something where they're not bothering the parents, then that's fine. Give me 5 minutes. Give me a bit of peace and quiet. Instead of actually parenting. Instead of parenting, they just want to sit them in front of a screen. That's fine by me.
That's right.
And it's responsibility, it's personal responsibility once again. But they are raising a generation of kids who are going to be worse than them. It's diminishing returns.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I'm simply saying, and it's anecdotal, but almost everyone I see, people taking their children to school, dad or mum has got a mobile phone in their hand. Their kid has got a mobile phone. They're walking along. They're taking the kid to school, and you've seen the use of mobile phones with adults.
We've been railroaded into it because
that's
it's
right.
increasingly, and now everything requires you to have a smartphone. Almost everything now, increasingly, you can't do anything more and more so without having one of these stupid phones. You need an app to do this. Download the app to do that. Pay for this with this app. And if you want to kind of just get on and have a fairly easy life, you need to do everything on your phone now, and it's all being funneled into. Everyone is expected to have one of these things, so everyone has one.
Correct.
It's big tech. It's big tech is far too influential as well. And I mean, this is another thing. All right, how about holding big tech to account for all of these things, all of these ills and things which are supposedly ruining kids on social media? Instead of taking it away from the kids, how about go to the actual tech companies who run these social media and say, you need to do something. You get your act together. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. And that's what they should be doing, really. They should be saying, you need to take more responsibility on this. This is like the Wild West on the internet now. And you're responsible for it. But they're not, because they're too powerful. The tech companies are too powerful.
Yeah.
They have too much control and influence.
Sure. I mean, all of this sounds like hoping to me, because we are in a declining society. Unfortunately, it's very sad, and I rail against that. I don't use a smartphone. I have a smartphone, but I don't use it. I use it for normal phone calls, but I don't use it for apps or anything like that. But loads of people do. I see it all the time. I'm there with cash in my shop, and everyone's got a mobile phone, and they're swiping the phone.
Well, I'm the same. As soon as I can get away from using a smartphone, I will, but I have to use it. I need it for work. It's essential. I cannot work without it. This is what I'm saying. I'm stuck with it until I stop doing the work that I'm doing. I can't do anything about it. I have to use it. As soon as I can get away from that, I will.
Absolutely. But the old one person. I'm one person, and
we are doomed.
We're confronted by thousands of people every day. If you look at them, they got their mobile phone. Kids have got mobile phones. They're all happy. They're sitting around in a restaurant. Mum, dad on the mobile phone. Kids on the mobile phone or the pad. I've seen.
I see a few that don't have them around here. I do see quite a few. Not as many, but a few.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, but it's not enough, though, is it? I mean, most people are totally inured to it, totally dependent on it, totally addicted to it. Everyone is, almost everyone. So
me included, really.
Now the icing on the cake is they are now talking about banning VPNs as well. We're going total Big Brother now. Total Big Brother. Need to ban VPNs because that's how everyone's going to get round the ban. And so it's just one step after another. It's shocking. And also, I mean, one thing about all this that's going on here is, especially with regards to migration as well, is how the Trump administration are kind of seem to be looking at it as being a security risk. And so they are kind of using that as the angle to attack this government and say, look, you've got to change what you're doing because this is a security risk, and we cannot be allies. We cannot have be allies with you if this security risk exists. So that's quite a decent angle as well. But anyway.
Our biggest security risk is that our defence minister has left. We've got no army, we've got no navy, and we've got no air force. That's our problem.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, I did just want to bring up while we still got time. Another historic thing that happened this week, that's the signing of the peace deal with Iran.
Yeah.
Trump's announcing the peace.
Yep.
Which was very fortunate. The timing of that, fortunate, maybe is not quite the right word. It is very well planned, you might say. And he went to the G7 summit, and announced that he's the boss, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah,
And
it's a very strange. It's a very strange war, that Iranian war. Very strange. Yeah,
I found it
Trump,
interesting how many people were involved in the peace deal. It's not just, the America and the two countries. There's actually quite a lot of countries in the Middle East that are involved in either continuing the peace, looking after the peace, or that sort of, or detaining the bad guys, this sort of thing. There's a lot of countries that are actually signed up, involved in it.
Yeah, because they're Sunni.
Yes. I think there are a lot of countries in the Middle East who did not like Iran. Iran was like the bully of the Middle East. I mean,
no, it's a rival branch of Islam. They've hated each other. I mean, don't forget the Iran-Iraq war.
Yeah, that's an aspect of it for sure. But there's a lot of countries that just didn't like them because they were funding all of these terrorist groups, Hezbollah and Hamas, and that was all coming out of Iran. I mean, look what happened when they started attacking. When the US started attacking Iran, Iran started attacking all these countries, all these local countries around them.
Yeah, that's right, because they're enemies. They're enemies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think this is more Viv's right. I think it is with the again. I don't really understand how the inner bits of Muslim Islam works, but I think it's because of the main dividers, Sunnis and the other bunch. Shia.
I mean, don't forget, Muslims are underdeveloped. They're adolescent. Islam is still a very childish religion, in the sense that they're fighting these schisms that have happened a long time ago, much the same way as Europe dealt with the problems in Christianity a lot more quickly than this. So there were horrendous religious wars in Europe from the 16th century onwards until settlement was reached. It took a few hundred years. But the animosity felt between Roman Catholicism and Protestantism absolutely split Europe apart. And so you got the similar animosity between, and Europe is not a particularly religious continent now, but Islam is still very religious. Just that is a guiding principle of a lot of these countries.
I think it's similar to, we talked about Northern Ireland and how that was the roots of the troubles in Northern Ireland were based around sectarian divisions between Protestants and Catholics. But ultimately, it became more than that. It became about more than that. It became politicized. And I think that's a similar thing in the Middle East. There is that division between the different sects, but it's not just that anymore.
No, I mean, as I've said, I don't really hold this religious aspect of the Troubles. They were just markers. It's more about land, and it's more about allegiances to nations. And the Protestants had allegiance largely, and some Catholics had allegiance to Britain, considered themselves British. The Republicans and a few Protestants wanted to join the Republic of Ireland. And so predominantly the battle was, and still is, about the identity of that small part of the world. And I don't really see it through a religious lens, although terrible events were carried out by both sides against perceived enemies of another faith. Same faith, but of another.
I think a lot of what's gone on with Iran has been down to. Trump laid a lot of groundwork in the region. With he went and got the Saudis on side. He did the Abraham Accords, and what he wants to do, I think, is to get everybody under this one umbrella to kind of make peaceful coexistence. I kind of think there's a lot of that going on behind the scenes as well. There's a lot of countries working with that in mind, and which has been arranged by Trump, which he did in his first term. I think he laid a lot of the groundwork for that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yep.
And he was saying, he was saying that the people. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he was putting out while the Iran war was going on, people were just jumping on it and taking it seriously. I think a lot of it was just nonsense that he was putting out, and he was deliberately putting out nonsense just to keep everybody not knowing what the hell was going on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's the way he works as a deal maker. Of course.
Yeah.
But it doesn't ignore the facts on the ground, and that is that we have this. Within the Middle East, there are schisms, and of course, I take your point about Iran funding terrorist groups, but at the same time, there are, you've got the 12ers in Iran, and then you've got the Sunnis who are not 12ers. So it's
But these happen everywhere. These divisions,
Oh yeah, they do.
I mean, I don't think the three of us really know enough of the ins and outs of what really causes the problems. There may be many details that we're probably not aware of, which a lot of really insignificant to us things which inflame these tensions locally, or maybe even historically.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So anyway, well, hopefully that will last. That will lead to some new kind of situation in the Middle East there, and Netanyahu needs to stop just. The guy. I'm sure he's been deliberately trying to derail this whole peace process. He keeps on attacking Lebanon.
Yeah,
which seems to be totally counterproductive. Did you also see there was a massive attack on Moscow as well? Apparently by Ukraine. A huge attack on Moscow.
Oh no, I didn't see that one. No.
Oh yeah, I just saw that a bit earlier on.
Right.
So that's kind of
interesting.
Still going on there. Yeah, need to stop funding Ukraine. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Bring that one to an end.
All these things that are still bubbling, waiting to sort of surface.
Yeah. Also, on a different note, have you seen that the Liberal Democrat-controlled Oxfordshire Council are trying to pass a motion to ban the flying of Union Jacks and St George's flags in the streets? They're actually trying to ban flying the flag of this country in the streets.
Oh my word! Under what? That's social cohesion.
Well, no, they say they're a danger, apparently, health and safety, right? And also because they're upsetting and that they're causing anxiety and stress to some people.
Are they?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, apparently so. Apparently, but we all know who they're talking about, don't we? So yeah, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? So apparently, it's going to the. I think it's going to the High Court or Supreme Court, and that's going to be judged on the 23rd. I think that judgment is going to happen 23rd of June, Brexit Day.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so hopefully that they'll tell them where to go. Go and sit on it, shove that up your ass. Stop bothering us with this. But we'll see.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's. Okay.
Yeah.
Oxford's pretty much gone though, so I wouldn't be surprised if they. Well, if it's gone to the High Court, that's a different matter. But they're all corrupt anyway. They'll probably say,
"Yeah, the city of Oxford is pretty woke, but Oxfordshire is not so much." I think you come outside of the city, you get to the rural areas, and someone was saying there's loads of flags flying. Outside of the city, you come outside the city and there's loads of them up on lampposts and what have you.
Of course there are. Of course, Oxford though is I know it very well. I know Oxford extremely well. So, yeah, I've been going there for, well, I don't know, 30 years. They're also a proto 15-minute city. And I told you about the schemes that they've adopted, they've zoned it off already. So,
well, it's already kind of, Oxford is one of those cities which was under the cycling mafia, under the control of the cycle mafia to start with. They're trying to severely restrict motor traffic in Oxford.
They are.
They'd love to get rid of cars, I'm sure.
They would.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they would.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's time for Viv's bookshelf. Is it not?
Yeah, I've just put up another one yesterday. Yeah, got another one up.
Oh, an actual bookshelf. You've actually put another one together. Have you?
A bookcase, basically. Yeah, another bookcase. So that's have I filled it yet? No.
No. So have you been reading anything of interest? Since we last spoke.
Yeah, sort of yes and no. I've been reading more, just more short stories, really, at the moment. Yeah. I can't handle long books. I can't. At the moment, I just cannot handle long books. I'm so tired. I just want to read a couple of short stories. So I haven't really got anything longer than a short story of no more than 100 pages. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, have you thought of who you want to nominate as our comedian that we can discuss?
Yeah. Have we done Tommy Cooper?
No, we haven't.
Okay, there we go.
He's one of those that I would have thought we'd already done, but maybe we've just mentioned his name a lot and haven't actually done him per se.
We haven't. We haven't done Tommy Cooper. No, we haven't.
Yeah. No. Okay. There we go then.
All right. Tommy Cooper. Now, yeah, just like that. Old school. We're going old school again here. Tommy Cooper.
Yeah, we are.
The man who brought the Fez into popularity.
Yeah. For anyone who doesn't know Tommy Cooper, he was. Well, when was he? I guess you're probably talking 40s. Not 40s, sorry, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
He was a comedian. He used to wear a fez, and he did magic tricks badly. They always went wrong. That was his act. And he used to do really bad magic tricks, and tell the odd joke as well while he was doing it.
Let me jump in. Maybe I've understood it wrong. I thought he took the mickey out of himself, but I thought there was always actually a magic trick involved. Like, even though it was always looking like it was going wrong, there was actually something very magic and clever that he did.
He did do that as well. Yes, you are right.
Okay. Good, cool.
But it was always like he'd try and do a magic trick, it would go wrong, and he'd get a laugh, but then he would do something which would be kind of quite good.
Really good at sort of making magic look stupid and drop things and make an arse of himself, but actually still do a trick at the end of it. Nice, yeah.
I do think that he was a guild of whatever it's called, guild of magicians or magic circle. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't actually know that. So he was officially part of the magic circle.
I think so. I can't confirm.
I reckon so, because he did do some tricks, and I think you have to kind of, especially in those days, it would have been part and parcel just to be a member of the magic circle, I think.
Looking it up, conjuring skills, he became a member of the magic circle. Yeah.
Some great conspiracies about the magic circle, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, basically, he specialised initially in doing magic tricks that seemed to go wrong, but actually worked.
Yeah, which was captivating. Yeah.
Yeah, captivating.
Yeah,
And he just fumbled around, bumbled about.
Yeah, he was Welsh. I didn't actually realise he was Welsh.
What? Really? No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he's probably
yeah.
best known for dying on television, live on television.
Of course, didn't he? He just sort of collapsed live on stage, and they frantically pulled the curtains across, didn't they?
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, 1984. He was 63. He smoked and drank heavily, which probably didn't help him.
Yeah.
Am I right in saying he dropped of a heart attack then?
Yeah, they thought it was part of the act. They thought it was part of
live TV.
Yeah.
At Her Majesty's Theatre in London, which is on right in the heart of London, Haymarket, Her Majesty's Theatre.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no one rushed on stage because in character it was as if he was part of the joke of the trick. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a similar thing that happened to Sid James. He had a heart attack on stage. I'm not sure if he was doing a comedy routine at the time.
Yeah.
But quite often when these things happen on stage, people are probably a bit slower to react because they think, "Oh, it's part of the act."
They did think it was part of the act. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I've got a couple of funny anecdotes about Tommy Cooper. There is quite a well-known one. Always with the joke, Tommy Cooper. That's he got a taxi cab in London once, and the driver took him to his destination, and he got out of the cab and he went to the driver's window to pay him, and the driver is how much is that? How much is that, driver? And so the driver said, "Oh, it's such and such, whatever it is," and he gave him the money. And then he tucked something into the driver's top pocket. He goes, "Here you go, driver, have a drink on me." The driver's like, "Oh, thanks very much. Thank you, governor." Driver drives off, reaches into his top pocket, pulls out a tea bag.
Brilliant. Oh dear.
Yeah. And
I like the idea that he would carry a tea bag on him just for that moment.
Yeah. It probably wasn't one time he did it. He probably did that one several times.
Yeah.
There was another one. There's this current comedian, Tim Vine, who I met a couple of months back now, and I was just chatting to him, and he was telling me I said, what are you doing now? He said, "Oh, I just did a gig supporting Engelbert Humperdinck." Right, and I was like,
wow,
that's a bit unusual. That was a bit unusual, right? Well, first of all, I didn't realise Engelbert Humperdinck was still going. Yeah. And secondly, having a comedian to do a warm-up act for it's like, no, it went down pretty well. His audience was kind of quite receptive. And then he said, I did hear this story about Tommy Cooper, that the band The Police, like Sting, right? The Police. Sting used to be a huge fan of Tommy Cooper. And when they were first, back in whenever it was, the late 70s, early 80s, when the Police were really at their height, you can imagine the kind of audience they had, the young kind of hip, indie kind of kids who were following the Police. They had a gig, and because Sting was such a big fan of Tommy Cooper, he asked him to do the warm-up act for a Police gig. Right? So Tommy Cooper, right. So Tommy Cooper has agreed. Said, "Yeah, I'll do that." And he did his act in front of all of these Police fans, and of course, completely the wrong audience for Tommy Cooper. And he absolutely died on stage. He went down like a lead balloon. And he said, well, at the end of his act, he walked off stage, and Sting was standing at the side of the stage. Tommy Cooper walked up to him, and he just went, "Follow that."
Yeah. Johnny Rotten's a big fan of Tommy Cooper.
Is he?
He was, yeah. Well, maybe still is. Yeah.
Probably still is, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, another one of these guys who started off in the military.
Yep.
Oh, really? Right.
Yeah. When he first started, apparently developed a popular monologue about his military experience as Cooper the Trooper.
Yeah.
And then, and just doing variety shows, like a lot of those people from that era, comedians who came out of that era, just variety stage.
I wonder if the Fez was anything to do with his military. Did he do some time down in Burma or down in
Egypt?
Egypt. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to think where they were from then.
I think the Fez is Moroccan, Egypt, it's Middle
Moroccan,
Eastern.
It's classically Moroccan, the Fez.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of frowned upon now because it's seen as a symbol of colonialism. I think the Fez, it's not like it's not something that the Moroccans were kind of proud of. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think you'd find many Moroccans wearing fezzes these days. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no idea.
Oh, here it is. One evening, this is during the war. He was in the Royal Horse Guards, and then he joined the Desert Rats in Egypt.
There you go.
Yeah, and one evening in Cairo, in Egypt, during a sketch where he was supposed to be in a costume that required a pith helmet, and it was forgotten by the prop department, Cooper reached out and borrowed a fez from a passing waiter, which got huge laughs.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely. So, it was something to do with. Oh, nice, right.
So a kind of, a kind of an accident, a fortunate accident. I think also the magic tricks that went wrong was a similar thing. He started off doing magic seriously, but found out he quite often got more laughs when the magic trick went wrong. He didn't intend it to go wrong. But he started getting laughs, and he thought, okay.
Exactly. There's a whole tradition of this, isn't there, when you think about it? Like Morecambe and Wise messing up plays, those terrible plays that Ernie wrote, and just going so badly wrong. And then Les Dawson's piano playing. Shockingly bad piano playing, deliberately. Because you have to be quite a good pianist to play the piano badly, ironically. So... yeah, so Cooper, with his magic tricks. Yeah.
He was influenced by Laurel Hardy, understandable. Will Hay, do you remember Will Hay? I used to love Will Hay.
Oh, yeah. The Ghost Train, all that. Brilliant.
Yeah. His films as a kid. Max Miller, Bob Hope.
Yeah.
And Robert Orben, who I've never heard of. There you go.
Oh, no, I've not heard of that person.
He did quite a few films as well.
The Plank he was in.
Which he was, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Where's my copy of the Plank? Bloody hell. Okay, anyway, sorry, that's an aside. Just speaking out loud.
You got a book of the Plank, have you?
No, there's a film called The Plank. And
for some reason I thought because it was you'd have a book of it as well. So
no, it's a silent film. So
yeah, it's just where they're carrying this piece of wood. That's what the whole film's about, isn't it? Just transporting this plank of wood.
Yeah,
and all this
and it's got a load of the old greats in it. A hell of a lot of the old greats in it.
Eric Sykes and all of that stuff, and there's very little dialogue in it as well. It's one of those. It's hardly any dialogue which actually makes any sense. It's more just kind of gestures and noises for the most part, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I wonder, I don't know if you know Jacques Tati, the French comedian, but I'm sure he was influenced by that. Do you know Jacques Tati?
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
I know of him. Yeah, I don't really know much about him, but
yeah. And well, I'm a bit of a fan. He did stuff in the 60s, early 70s. 50s to the early 70s. Yeah.
Was Jacques Tati kind of sort of semi-mime? I seem to remember him being a sort of kind of a mime type thing going on with him.
Not really. No? He just had a very angular kind of particular body and leaning forward and just, quite jerky and confused by modern life.
Right.
So it was kind of the film. it got too big for his boots. But he directed a whole film. He did a huge set with a. Oh, it's just basically an industrial little town set, and I do enjoy it, but somebody said it's a bit like watching paint dry because it's quite slow, in a way. But yeah, Tatty he's in the tradition of that kind of old school comedy as well, particularly silent comedy. And I'm sure he watched The Plank. But yeah, a lot of it's silent. A lot of his comedy is quite silent. My uncle was one of them, The Postman, and
I see Tommy Cooper died in 1984, and he had 2 kids, and his son didn't outlive him very, very much. His son died in 1988.
Oh wow!
Which was he was 56, so he's only 30 something. He must have.
Bloody hell!
Yeah, and his wife died in 2002, so she outlived him. So Thomas Henty was his son, who's also an actor, apparently. I've never heard of him.
No, okay.
Is there anyone else that made a career out of magic, but magic tricks going wrong?
Yeah. Well, not so much going wrong, but I think Jeffrey Durham, Victoria Wood's husband.
All right.
I don't know about going wrong though, as such.
So no one's ever sort of looked at Tommy Cooper and thought, "Oh, I'm going to have a go at making comedy, magic comedy." Yeah,
I think they have. I think modern comedians. I can't remember who they are. Can't remember. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there must. Yeah. I'm sure I've seen stuff like that, but nothing which really stays in my mind. I mean, with regards, you mentioned
Minchin, Tim. Was it Tim Minchin?
Tim Minchin. He was more songs. He did more songs, didn't he? I don't think he did magic.
Right. Okay.
Australian guy.
Oh yeah, maybe you could class Sooty as the only other one that's done magic.
Oh yes, yes. Cool. Yes, excellent.
Yeah, not quite in the same league. But Pretty and Sweep, wasn't it?
Oh.
But you mentioned
what was their magic term? There was like a whole tapping of the stick and a whole.
I don't know. It was a kids' program. I don't remember that.
It was my era, but I can't remember it anyway.
No.
Yeah. Sooty and Sweep, and what was the other one? Was it Susie or something? I can't remember.
Sooty, Sweep, and Sue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue.
Yeah. That's right.
But you mentioned Viv about Les Dawson playing piano badly, and that reminded me of Victor Borgia. Do you remember Victor Borgia?
Yeah. I do. Yeah.
He was great. He was really funny.
Yeah.
Kind of a classical pianist who used to play stuff really badly, and it was hilarious. He was very funny, that guy.
Yeah.
I used to love him.
He was good. Yeah.
So Tommy Cooper.
We've probably done most of Tommy. It's not It's not a lot, is there? Really? I mean, there is and there isn't.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of TV stuff. Kind of. I mean, he did a few films, but most of it is just kind of stuff like the Tommy Cooper Hour and stuff like that, and Tommy Cooper's Guest Night, or Tommy Cooper at the London Palladium or Royal Variety or whatever, all that sort of stuff. So him just doing his act on TV, basically, the Tommy Cooper show. So things like that.
Yeah.
So you can probably you still find a lot of stuff on him on YouTube. But I remember my dad used to
some stuff.
Yeah. I remember my dad used to like Tommy Cooper, and I used to think he was, as a kid, I used to think, he's all right.
Yeah.
But it was kind of that generational humor, I think. Because humor does change, doesn't it? What you laugh at. You look at stuff that people used to think was really funny back in the 40s and 50s, and you kind of think, that just doesn't seem that funny to me.
Arthur Askey.
Yeah, where's me washboard? But even stuff like Dad's Army, Dad's Army, which is like a classic British sitcom from whenever it was, 60s and 70s. Even back then, as a kid, I mean, it's regarded as one of the most famous and loved British sitcoms. I never really found it that funny to me.
No.
I've never found it funny.
No.
So maybe that was a generational thing. Except the one classic episode, don't tell him, Pike. Don't tell him your name, Pike.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That was the only. I think that was the only time I ever watched Dad's Army, and I laughed out loud.
Yeah.
Just that one line. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, Tommy Cooper. He had also another little thing here. He had a niece. Where was it now? Yeah, he had a niece who, strangely enough, ran a local magic shop in Eastbourne, and she was murdered in 2022.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit hard.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabrina Cooper was her name.
Okay.
Well, there you go. Collapsed from a heart attack on stage, 15th of April 1984, in front of 12 million viewers.
Yeah.
Midway through his act on the TV variety show Live from Her Majesty's, an assistant helped him put on a cloak for his sketch while Jimmy Tarbuck, the host, was hiding behind the stage curtains waiting to pass him different props that he would then appear to pull from inside his gown. His last words seemed to be, "Thank you, love," to the assistant, seconds before collapsing.
Oh, dear.
The assistant smiled at him as he slumped down, believing it was part of the act. Likewise, the audience laughed as he fell backwards, as a hand, possibly Tarbuck's, briefly appeared from behind the curtain to reach out towards Cooper. Oh, this is terrible. As Cooper lay on the floor, the audience continued to laugh at him, believing he was making a joke about how long it had taken him to button up the cloak. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Well, I suppose
you can look at these.
He died doing what he loved. He probably would rather have gone that way than in a bed somewhere.
I was going to say, I think for a comedian, it sounds horrific, but that was probably the best way to go, to thunderous laughing. That's kind of what his career was. There's some beauty in that, I suppose.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, look, we've gone beyond our time because Dan Wootton's already started his live show on what's going to happen in the results. So.
On Makersfield, is he doing a live coverage of Makersfield? Is he? So
he is. Unfortunately,
Makerfield.
Yeah,
Makerfield.
Yes. He's got that
guy. Well, so we'll find out tomorrow. I don't think there'll be any huge surprises, but yeah. Okay. Well,
you
shall I hit you with a few jokes?
A couple of jokes then.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Hey. What's big red and eats rocks?
Big red rock eater.
Yeah, that's an old one. I thought I'd chuck that one in there, see if I catch you off guard, but no, Viv was on the case. Every machine is a smoke machine. It just depends on how badly you use it.
That needs a bit of thought, but yeah, that's true. It's true that actually.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or funny. Yeah,
it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Two muffins are sitting in an oven. The first muffin says, "Wow, it's getting hot in here." The second muffin says, "Holy shit, a talking muffin."
Yeah.
They say that if you play heavy metal music backwards, you get satanic messages. But what do you get if you play country music backwards? Well, I'll tell you. You get your job back. You get your wife back. You get your house back. You get your car back. You get your dog back. And so on.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That is excellent, actually. Yeah.
My woman left me.
Yeah. What side of a chicken has the most feathers?
Mm.
So, I don't know.
No.
The outside, of course.
Oh dear. But yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, save your ideas. There might be a few more to come for those.
No, all right.
The day Microsoft produces a product that doesn't suck is the day they start making vacuum cleaners.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Women only call me ugly. Women only call me ugly until they find out how much money I make. After that, they call me ugly and poor.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Okay, one more. How do you think the unthinkable with an iceberg?
Oh.
With an iceberg.
How do you think the unthinkable with a
Think the unthinkable with an iceberg.
All right.
Never mind. All right. Okay, one more because that one went down like a lead balloon, which I thought that was quite a good one, but obviously a bit too.
No, I like that one.
Much thing.
No, I like that one.
No.
All right. What would the Flintstones be called if they were black? The Flintstones, you fucking racists.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's it.
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
We have to dig out some Tommy Cooper jokes for next week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll get the line those up for next time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, time to go. I think
it is. Yeah, I've got to get to the loo and get to my bed.
Of course you do. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Right, guys.
Alrighty.
Yeah. Have a good weekend and good week, and I'll speak to you next week.
Yep.
Right, guys. Take care.
Yep. All the best. Have a lovely week.
So we had a nice weekend anyway.
Excellent.
Annual
jaunt to the wilds of Suffolk. Yeah.
We went up to Great Yarmouth. It was a bit very run down, very sad actually. They got a lovely beach there, lovely sandy beach, but everything was just pretty decrepit, really run down.
A lot of HMOs, just
way too much tack along the seafront and way too much dilapidation when you come back from the seafront. But we did find, out of all of it, two interesting shops. One was a joke shop at which I bought some stink bombs, and the other one was a hunting, fishing, shooting shop, which had some great stuff in there: air rifles, swords.
Anyone who's old enough to remember Lion-O from Thundercats, they even had like his sword in there. They had Sting from Lord of the Rings, some Batman stuff, it was, and then some BB guns in buns.
Oh yeah, replica like kind of air rifles, but in the style like an M16, which looked like an M16 but an air rifle.
Yeah,
an HK Heckler and Koch submachine gun, but it was an air rifle, but it looked just like a submachine gun. It was incredible, some of the stuff they had in there.
Yeah, it was really good, actually. And at the back, they had survival equipment, tents, really nice tent. All kinds of really, really good stuff. It was an excellent shop. Food packs. Yeah. Very good, very good. Bug out gear. Yeah. It was right proper. That was right proper nice, that was.
It was like going into the 1980s for me. Like you say, I grew up in the 80s in a seaside town, but because it had no money spent on it in decades, it was like going back to the 80s to a seaside beach. It was quite weird, a little moment in time. The best thing I thought, I can't remember, I think it was at Great Yarmouth, was that the arcade with the politically incorrect arcade machines. I thought.
Oh, yeah. The Southwold.
That was at Southwold. That was on the pier at Southwold. Yeah, that was a few miles down the coast. We stopped on the way up to Yarmouth, went out. That was a lovely little place as well. But they had the all these weird and kind of really left field sort of little arcade games. And one of them was you needed to cross the motorway with a Zimmer frame without getting run over.
Yeah,
which is quite funny.
we stood there watching a young girl play the game, and it was just like mad. Yeah.
And she got run over,
She got run over.
Yeah, because you could select the age, 80, 90 or 100. And,
right.
Dearie me. You have a rubber treadmill and a Zimmer frame, and you've got to get across that road, but
she's standing there with the Zimmer frame saying, I can't move the Zimmer frame. It's going wrong. I'm going the wrong way. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
And there we go. I was going to say, there you go, end game. It cuts through an empty Zimmer frame and the sound of an ambulance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We left to the sound of an ambulance.
An actual taste of what it's like when you get old. There you go.
Yeah.
Dose of reality.
I know. Yeah. But we also found a fish and chip shop, and it was pretty poor, really. Let's be honest.
It was bang average. Yeah.
It was bang average.
Fordy made poor
culinary decision. Yes.
Yeah, it was. I would say it's slightly worse than average. The fish was all right, but we should have gone to that one. I didn't realise. I completely forgot. It used to be called the Yarmouth Bloater. That's down the end of that long road. They've changed it. And we should have gone down there, but we were so hungry because we tried to find bloody breakfast, and it seemed impossible on the trip.
Wasn't it 2:30 by the time we had breakfast?
Yeah.
We stopped at that place on the way up there that was recommended by Gav, the two magpies, and it was turned out to be a complete washout. And then just for the cherry on the top, 4D gets insulted by a completely random stranger.
Yeah.
For no apparent reason.
No reason at all. Yeah.
I know the reason. Yeah.
Well, it was Viv's fault as the same reason.
It is. It always is.
That we had shitty fish and chips in Yarmouth is because you'd forgotten about that good place, Viv. So that was your fault as well.
Exactly.
It was all your fault.
And when we went past that fish and chip shop, I was thinking, this looks all right. But then, forget it. We've eaten. So, it was called, at that time, it was called the Yarmouth Bloater. Bloat is a type of kipper. Kipper is a type of smoked herring, and the herring fishery was what made Yarmouth initially quite prosperous, not bad, and then later tourism. But but it's got the accolade of the best fish and chips in Yarmouth. And when I looked it up later,
great.
Brilliant. Okay.
Well, I mean, one thing. I mean, it was, like I said, it was quite a dismal place. But it's kind of a marker because Restore have just won a landslide in Great Yarmouth. So it is now a Restore controlled town, and that's only recently. So it'd be very interesting to maybe see what happens in a year or two, see if they've actually managed to change its fortunes at all. And improve it.
Yeah, absolutely. In its heyday, they built some beautiful buildings. I mean, really spectacular Art Deco or Neo Gothic, and Romanesque style buildings. So, you know, it has potential. It needs the will to make it better. That's all.
Yes. Yes.
And a bit of money,
Well,
a lot of money. But, you know, there we go. If we can spunk money on Nazis in Ukraine, I'm sure we can do, you know, to spend a bit of money making Yarmouth looking a bit better.